Hello, stream friends. I'm back. He's back. Sorry if you hear any weird, I don't think it picks it up that much, but, my headset, uh, the, the, what's the word? The screw that, holds the metal beam for it in place on the left side, one of the screws has come out. So, my mic, it's still fine. It still works. It just doesn't sit on my head. It's my noise canceling headphones are not quite as noise canceling as they once were. So I'm back. It has been 24 days since my last stream. That is too many. That is 18 or so days too many. I have not streamed yet in the month of May. In that time, I graduated college. Uh, so that was keeping me very busy. And then once that was done, I moved back in with my parents for a little while. So I'm not very busy, but I've been enjoying my time off from everything. Uh, but it has been too long, particularly since we played Great Ace Attorney. I have not streamed Great Ace Attorney since April 1st, a month and a half ago. Uh, God damn it! Hold on. This is stuck in my head right now.
Black hole sauce among us. I'm a crewmate. Black hole sauce among us.
TikTok is cursed. Black hole sauce among us. When we left off, I beat case 4 of this game, and it's a little loud, so I'm gonna turn the volume down. Justin Audio Testing. Black hole sauce among us. It's stuck in my head now. It's stuck in my head. This is gonna be a cursed stream. So when we left off, we beat Case 4 of Great Ace Attorney, and we moved in. We live in Herlock Sholmes' attic now. We moved in with him. We're roomies. We get to show him all our funny TikToks. Stream! Black hole sauce among us. So I will stop singing that. I promise. We're now on the 5th case, which is the final case of Great Ace Attorney 1. There's 2 games. This is Great Ace Attorney Adventures, and then there's Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, I guess. Yeah. So now we're going to. We just beat Episode 4, Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. Oh, I wanna take you to the Kokomo. And now we're gonna go to the adventure of the unspeakable story. The Hound of Basket. The Hound of the Basket. Excuse me. It's still oh wait. Right case. Start from the beginning. Hello? Spoilers. I mean, not really, but kind of. Why is it showing me all the cutscenes? I just want to play the game. Okay. Weird. The adventure, the unspeakable story, investigation. Part 1. So at the end of last stream, we moved back in with Herlock. We moved in with Herlock Sholmes. We're roomies now. So
It's coming! Sholmes's cry pierced through the thick wall of fog around us. Wisps of vapor flowed over the pistol as I cocked it, and I waited, breathlessly, in the stillness. The silence lasted for what seemed an eternity, until, at last, it appeared.
The imposter.
From the shadows of the cloud, an enormous beast sprang out upon us. A hound it was, but not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen. Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white-hot flames. Its rumbling pant and hideous howl, so terrified was I that I began to tremble with fear.
Fear.
Look well, Wilson, Sholmes declared, gazing upon the mystical beast. For this is the diabolical hound of the Baskervilles.
Hound of the Baskervilles. As far as I know, this is a very famous Sherlock Holmes story. So let's see how they turn it into something that I would be involved with. Doggo, evil doggo. I saw it coming through the fogs. It was an evil doggo, not very wholesome 100. A kind of black hole sus among us. Our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. In that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown into on the day we arrived in the country. This is a badly written sentence. And in Soseki-san's terrible ordeal that had followed closely behind, we had emerged victorious. However, there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court. No court cases, which was hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur, an unknown student of law from a faraway land. So life in our little office was very quiet. We're just chilling and vibing with Sherlock Holmes, watching terrible TikToks. That fateful telegram. 15 April, 9:13 a.m. Our consultancy. What date was it in the last case? Knock, knock, knock. Destiny, knocking at our door. Oh, our cute little office has become like an actual office. Let's go! That morning, I was woken by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. But after he'd gone, Susato-san's behavior became very obviously strange. Susato-san? Yes! Is it time to leave for court already? Let me see. What case is it today? I don't think I'm scheduled to suspend anymore at the moment, am I? Oh, no, of course not. How silly of me. But I think Iris said she would make us breakfast. Shall we go down to Mr. Sholmes? Sherlock Sholmes? Let's go! Yes, Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food. She does, doesn't she? Once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in fighting fit form. You like my little bit of alliteration there? Let's see, what case is it today? Here we go again. I don't think I've streamed since I updated my my Instagram bio to reflect the fact that I am a streamer. I updated my bio. I updated my bio end of last month, and I just haven't streamed. No viewers. It's okay. If there are 100 Chuck Batman fans and what's the Morbius copy costume? It's there's one fan. I know that one fan got me. I'm incoherent nonsense. Is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I know that one fan got me. I know those 2 viewers. I know you got me. I know they got me. So what was in the telegram? So what was it all about? The telegram that was delivered this morning, I mean. Oh, a telegram? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, but you're not gonna get away with it. You're not getting away with that! Well, I didn't think I would. Actually, just give it a moment's thought. It's nothing. Nothing interesting. Boring, in fact. It's just a boring old telegram. That's 3 times now that she's tried and failed to convince you. I promise I will tell you about it someday. Alright. Okay, so we've got Chekhov's telegram. I suppose Soseki-san will have arrived back in Japan. Yes, I should think so. He left immediately after that terrible ordeal. That's...
Black hole.
Which would mean he should have completed the voyage already, or be just a few days away. A fortnight ago, ago, we had that very long telegram. Do you remember? We played it. By and large, it seems the voyage has been going well. Is something wrong, Naruto-san? I'm just wondering, what might have become of Soseki-san that he stayed in London? That's all. Fortnite Battle Pass, Black Holes, Fortnite Battle Pass. You mean, regards Lord Von Zeke, the Reaper? Yes. You can't help wondering if these failed into insignificance. The Reaper. The music's loud enough. Yeah, hold on. I turned it up a little bit, but I think I turned it up too much.
The Reaper of the baby.
What is it they say? That no one who stands in the dock can be saved from the Reaper, right?
The Reaper of the baby.
Like the way that nightmarish trial ended on the very day we arrived in London. Even 2 months on, the cause of that dreadful fire is still a mystery. Yes, but at least Soseki-san is safely out of the country. Presumably that means that the curse of the Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the city of London, perhaps. Even if that's the case, it's a little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding. A black hole sauce among... If the legend of the Reaper is to be believed, it would mean he wields the sword of justice himself. Come to think of it, I wonder what he's been up to these past 2 months. Surely, not wielding that sword against more acquitted defendants. No, I don't think so. Apparently, Lord Von Zeeks hasn't appeared in court once since our last encounter. Oh. Yes, since Soseki-san's trial. He's withdrawn from judicial service again, it seems. It's almost like he only wants to prosecute cases we're involved with, for some reason. Who knows why. So it's just been me who's had to face him in his recent spat of trials. Ugh. Just my luck. I wonder if it's more than just luck. If it's a bit sus. Come over to what? To your house? And do you want me to come over to your house? No. I need to play. Stream. What? Sorry, what was that? Oh, nothing? Never mind. Jack just said, "Come over," in chat, and then disappeared. Amazing. Okay, nothing to fix, so... Okay, let's go meet with Sholm. Let's go get breakfast. Breakfast with Herlock Sholmes. 15th of April. Sholmes is sweet. Morning, Bruno! Morning, Susie! What is the music? What is happening? Good morning, Iris. Iris? What is it, Bruno? What is that terrible noise? That sounds like a cat being strangled. Ah, yes, you noticed that, didn't you? Oh God, Sholmes. Hurley isn't in the best form this morning, it seems. That sound effect. Hello. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Good morning. A good morning to die, perhaps. Has something happened, Mr. Sholmes? Beethoven has been real quiet since this beat dropped. You look miserable, and the way you were playing that violin before. My analytical mind is dead. Music is dead. The world is dead. Damn this blanched existence! That's all it is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence. I hurt myself today. Well, Iris, isn't it time we ate? Some dry toast and insipid coffee for me, if it's not too much trouble. It's the first time I've ever seen Mao spelled M-I-A-O-W. Oh look, it's Wagahai. Good morning, boy. Meow. There must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. But how did it get there? Oh, we've got a cute little cat, too. Wholesome 100. Well then, everyone, time for breakfast. Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris. Ugh, it would indeed be a fine day to die. I knew something looked different. Something's missing from Mr. Sholmes' desk. The missing machine. Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to pry, but your desk looks rather empty today. Ah, well done, Mr. Sutton. Your observational skills do you credit. Oh no, Mr. Sholmes, they pale into insignificance when compared to yours. You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you? You mean Hurley's great analytoscope? The analyzinator. Perry the platypus. That's at Windy Banks now. Sorry, it's at a Windy Bank? No, Windibanks, the pawnbrokery. You sold my Inator to a pawnbrokery, Perry the platypus? What? You mean you've pawned that enormous machine of yours? It has some considerable value, you see. Quite undeservedly. But isn't it a very important machine for your work? I do wish you had consulted us if your situation had become so desperate. I should have gladly passed what little income I have to you. Dear madam, things are far from desperate. But the pawnbroker has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate? Making use of a pawnbrokery is quite ordinary here in London, I assure you. It is? It doesn't sound ordinary at all. It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbroking works. Oh, what's to understand exactly? Let's get the want. Why does he want to die? Because maybe it doesn't have anything to do with the machine. You seem to be very unhappy this morning, Mr. Schultz. What's happened? It used to be the case that in my hands, this violin sung like the dawn chorus. Its melatonin tones would make flowers bloom. It would. But now, the muses are unamused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me overboard. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Shawns? For hours I have bowed, for days even. Through the night I have endeavored to no avail. That sound, my tone, is lost. That brilliant, clear, unwavering tone, gone forever! No more recitals of unbridled emotion!
Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley?
Don't worry, I'm sure we'll come back to you in time. Heed my words, Mr. Naruhodo. The goddesses of the arts are fickle. One day they bestow genius on a man, the next they unmercifully withdraw it. Oh, dear. Ah! Why is this happening to me? If they take the turn I have from the violin from me, what is left, for pity's sake? What is left? Deduction, perhaps? Isn't that what you're known for? Oh boy. He's going through a depression arc, isn't he? What do you mean when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works? To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks.
Banks?
On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. With the money they receive in return, they are able to trade happily throughout the week.
And then on Saturdays, they go to recover their things using the money they've earned.
I had no idea. This has been a fascinating lesson for us.
Everyone does it, you see, especially people in inner London.
And should they have money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn, should the need arise.
Oh, how ingenious. So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Windibanks, you see.
A pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault. Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain?
Of course, you have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't. Don't you, Hurley?
What does it matter? The world is dead to me now. Okay. Look at Mr. Sholmes' desk. Completely clear. Wagahai. Mr. Natsume's cat seems to have settled into his new home.
Oh, yes!
It would appear his previous owner is completely forgotten to him. Cats are unfeeling creatures. Their mews are as empty as the hearts of the muses.
Oh, a squishy cat! If Mr. Natsume had no intention of taking Waggy back to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place.
I expect he would have taken him if he could. But pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience.
And for good reason. Terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not obeyed. People have died. Well, I don't mind, because Waggy is adorable.
Yes, he really is. Oh yes, what about the door? I don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. What is that?
Oh, you noticed? You are observant, Bruno. Look, I use this.
Why does she call him Maruno? That's not even like an abbreviation of his name in any way. Like Naruhodo. How does Naruhodo become Maruno? Like she took the N from earlier in the name and then moved it later.
Look, I use this. It's my latest invention.
What? What is that?
I call it the cat flumber, the catonator, Patty the platypus, the cat flapomat, the cat flaponator, the Patty the platypus dooronator, a machine for making doors just for Patty the platypus, so he stops breaking through my window. That's right, I can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds.
This part is boring. Move on from this subject.
Well, yes, maybe, but now I can make cat flaps anywhere I like.
What, so she just used that machine and went on the door and like turned it into a cat flap? Weird.
You must make one for us in the door of our office upstairs, Iris.
She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl.
Oh, what was that?
Waga? Uh-oh. What was that?
Oh no! Wagahai's tangled up in your violin! I think he thinks it's a toy.
No! What's he doing to it?
Oh dear. Mr. Sholmes' precious violin.
Why should I care?
What?
I shouldn't be surprised if the cat is a more accomplished musician than I.
Mr. Sholmes really is in poor spirits, isn't he? Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives, shall I, Hurley?
Out of the cat's reach, if possible. Maybe we should assess the damage. Where's the violin? Can we This is the violin, is it? It's a Stradivarius, one of the finest violins in the world, made by the renowned Italian luthier, Antonio Stradivari. Oh, I see. Doesn't really look like anything special to me. I happened upon it covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop down a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings. How honorable. And until today, it has been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I have made. I ask you, is there reason to live in a world devoid of music, to tolerate this blanched existence? No! So he's not upset about the fact that we took the analyzinator to the pawnbroker. He actually is just upset because he's having trouble playing the violin, I guess. There is none! Herlock Sholmes without his goofy outfit is so funny. Like, I said this last stream, but I can't get over the, like, blonde anime protagonist hairdo. Mr. Sholmes? What, dear madam? What? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of release from this dull routine.
Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think?
Hmm? What do you mean, Miss Susan?
Oh, Susie's right. Yes, the tone of the wood is completely different. And that's not all. I'm sure there was no crack here before.
Wait, it's not even the right size, is it? What's this? What is this? Why are we doing this?
I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but
that instrument isn't a violin at all. It looks a little big. Then, what?
I believe it's an entirely different instrument called a viola. What? What?
What?
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, are you alright? You're right. You are quite right. This isn't my faithful Stradivarius. So what, pray, is this piece of stringed flotsam? Not your faithful performing. He was trying to play this viola like it's a violin. God, I see what must have happened. You do, Iris? This is just a simple mix-up. Sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what's happened if we asked her.
There's been a mix-up inside of the house. It's an imposter viola.
Well, you see, this violin, this viola, I don't remember how to say it right anymore, was at Windibank's until last week. At the pawnbroker's? Not Mr. Sholmes' beloved musical partner. There is a proverb from the East with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellow.
Average violin fan versus the average viola enjoyer.
Always let a
Beloved child travel. Yes, indeed. So you sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in the hope that it would experience personal growth? Oh, what a wonderful idea!
Last week I pawned my great analyzenator in order to release my precious instrument. But it would appear Mr. Windibank mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry fiddle instead. But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber. Timber is gone down, onion timber. Pshaw, a fine state of affairs this is, and why I always say, Mr. Nobberhead, never trust a pawnbroker. They will try to fiddle you every time. But earlier you told us that you could think of a pawnbrokery as an extremely secure vault. Come, Mr. Nobberhood. Dilly-dallying will get you nowhere. Sorry? Crunching your toast with that vacant aspect. Pressing your coffee so obtusely. Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct, considering the urgency with which we are faced? We must visit Mr. Windibank's brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Sholmes? Precisely, Miss Susotta, without a moment's delay. But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs. My dear fellow, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect, to press your egg ever more obtusely. Pressing your egg sounds like a euphemism or something. Alright, say no more. Let's go. Don't worry, Bruno. I'd be happy to heat it up for you again later. Oh, thank you, Iris. As it happens, I'm rather curious to see what a British pawnbroker. Baker Street, so we can go straight to the pawnbroker. Let's go through here first, just to make sure we see all the locations. Look at all the different things in the window of this shop. Ah, that's Windibank's, the pawnbrokery. Looks much smarter than a pawnbroker's in Japan, doesn't it? Yes. That was me, I think. I find pawn shops at home rather inapproachable, personally. It reminds me of tearfully parting with my favorite fountain. I felt so miserable. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, Naruhodo. Okay, so his house is right, 2 doors away from the pawn. Got it. I'm making the mother of all omelets, Rianovsky. Can't fret over every egg. You can't make a tomelet without breaking some Gregs. 15th April. Windibank's pawnbroker. So this is a British pawnbrokery. Oh my, there are all sorts of tools and contraptions in here that I've never laid eyes on before. Sussy music,
the impression you enjoy places like this.
Oh, yes. I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill for me.
My dear fellows, let us not forget why we are here.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes?
We are calling on matters of business, not pleasure. Clearly, Mr. Sholmes means business, too, judging from the spark of fury in his eyes. I'm going to punch the pawnbroker in the mouth! He has no jaw, which will make it easy. Make his fat little face go... and bounce back at him. Ah, Mr. Sholmes, welcome back.
Did you hear that brazen welcome?
Well, yes, we are potential customers.
We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Norrell. It's time to inform Mr. Winterbank of our ire.
I'm going full Karen now!
Come! The fight is afoot.
Oh, God.
Naturally, you will recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago.
Yes.
This second-rate fiddle is not my faithful instrument, Mr. Winterbank. The color of the wood is different. It has holes in it. It's not even the same size. Or the same kind of instrument.
I'm so very sorry, sir. How utterly unforgivable for me. An inexcusable mistake for a pawnbroker. There was only one way to make amends. That running animation. Huh? He's got a gun!
What the hell?
I shall have to take my own life! Why did they really animated him running across the shop, grabbing a gun, back with the gun?
I don't think that will be necessary, do you?
If I may just say one thing before I pop off. He's popping off! He's popping off! Let's go! Ah, yes? It was you, sir, Mr. Sholmes, who took it upon yourself to remove the item the other day, I believe. Sorry? As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch your violin when I heard, "Ah, here it is!" You did. And when I turned to controvert you, you had taken the viola and left, sir. He's popping off. However, there can be no doubt that the blame lies firmly at my own door for allowing you to leave. So I shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May this guilt die with me.
No! Stop, my dear fellow! The fault is mine!
What is happening? Phew.
It would appear that the fight is over. I do humbly apologize, Mr. Winterbank. Evidently my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy.
Well, you wouldn't be Mr. Sherlock Holmes without that questionable disposition, now would you? Ha ha, I do believe you may be right, sir. It's either laugh or cry, I suppose. You are, it must be said, one of my more challenging customers. I needn't remind you of the peculiar collection of items you brought to my door in the past.
Like that analyzer-nator.
What am I supposed to do with that? I really don't know. Hey, Carl? In the extreme, man. For example, the unpublished manuscript of an eponymous work. The novels of Sherlock Holmes or something.
Oh my! A new full-fledged novel? And unpublished? A story I've yet to read, you mean?
Ah! Forgive me!
What is this guy's pulls a gun to his head bit? Like, what? Huh?
Strange sub-character.
I must know more. Tell me everything.
Wow, Susato-san is really fired up now.
Is there really an unpublished story under this very roof?
Well, one day the gentleman here brought in an old metal chest, you see. I should like to entrust this to your care for a while, Mr. Winnebago. For a chest like that, 1 shilling, sir, not a farthing more. It houses something of very great value indeed. The latest manuscript, recounting the adventures of one Mr. Herlock Sholmes. I beg your pardon? A manuscript? You wish to deposit a manuscript? Indeed I do, for I am quite confident it will be quite safe here. I moved the quite, and that was that. As such, Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherwise worldly mystery, of otherworldly mystery, Jesus, lies dormant in my store. Mr. Sholmes, is that really true? Mr. Sholmes? I became British for a moment. British? Mr. Sholmes, is that really true? Why are you talking like a small British schoolboy? I continue to pay your fee, do you not? Then kindly continue to store my belongings. Securely. Of course, sir, of course. They're safe and sound with me, I assure you. On my life! It's a prop gun, isn't it? He's just trying to like scare a customer. I wonder, could I ask you something? Oh, a gentleman from the east, I see. Yes, that sable suit. I suppose I could offer you 6 pence for it. Without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat dull. Sorry? Aha! Oh, your splendid attire, madam. 5 guineas, no less. The colors are exquisite. The design, exotic. Eastern artistry at its finest, may I say. Oh my, 5 guineas, you say? How interesting. Why do I feel as though I've suffered some sort of defeat? Actually, I was hoping to ask about your business. I've heard it said that pawnbrokeries are used rather like banks here in London. Yes, sir, indeed. Many of my customers utilize the establishment as you describe. I appraise their items and offer them a proportionate loan and 2 months of secure stowage. If, in that time, they repay the original sum to me plus the agreed interest, their items are happily returned. But what happens if they don't pay you the money? Then the items are offered for sale in my shop, as you can see on the shelves behind me. So, how is this like, whatever mystery we have, that maybe the mystery will actually start, like, 3 hours from now, there's gonna be some crucial item that went through the pawnbroker, I guarantee it. So this is all, like, precursor lore. You never sell items before the 2 months has passed. That's right, ma'am, that's right. If the customer's precious belongings be lost, the only recompense is for me to end it all. The very idea, Mr. Windermere, is an absurdity. One should never talk of one's demise so casually, says the man who was telling us all it was a good day to die only this morning. And let us not forget that I have already helped you take measures to ensure such a tragedy never occurs. Oh, what sort of measures? I engineered a simple device, which Mr. Winderbank has installed here in his shop. I call it the Red-Handed Recorder. Okay, well this is definitely going to be relevant for whatever mystery this case is actually about. Is that not so, Mr. Winderbank? What was that deep sigh? Red-handed... The Red-Handed Recorder, Perry the Platypus! What on earth is a red-handed recorder? Use your eyes, my dear. There are 2 just below the ceiling. I can see what appears to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device. Very astute. It is indeed a camera, furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film. And every 30 minutes precisely, the camera automatically records the appearance of the shop. Here, I have an example I can show. Okay, yeah, there's gonna be evidence related to this later. Ah yes, a print from the camera said to record the activity of the shop counter. I developed a special type of film so sensitive, it produces a crystal clear image even in darkness. Really, that's extraordinary. Yes, you can clearly see the counter and the door behind it, look. ran. So you see, were someone to enter the premises with ill intent, perhaps in a crime that we have to solve later in this case, his identity would be summarily exposed. But did you not say that the photographic prints were taken at 30-minute intervals? Indeed, as you say, my dear madam. Then what if the incident were to occur in between times? One could only say that would be a cruel twist of fate. I must confess your devices have been giving me some cause for distress of late. I beg your pardon, Mr. Winterbeck. Surely they are anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word. It's the cost of the film, sir. Oh, right. It just automatically takes photos every 30 minutes. Sure, it may have 100 rolls of film in it, but 100 rolls is 60 hours, which is like 3 days. Like every 3 days. And he has 2 cameras. So like, well, no, each camera would be able to take pictures for 60 days. But like every 3 days he's got 60 hours. But every 3 days he's got to replace his cameras. Which means I must pay for nigh on 100 utterly useless prints every single day. Every single day? Wouldn't it be just more like... Wouldn't it be more like a couple days? I'm afraid the cost of the film will break me before I'm very much older. Nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of my preferred pawnbrokery. No, I like that they were like, okay, we want to have security cameras in this area of this case. How are we gonna do that? They don't exist yet. We'll have Sherlock Holmes invent some, but like goofy ones that are still on film. My dear fellows, we verge on an age where safety and security come at a price. Oh, heaven help us! I hate it when he jumps like that. Now then, Mr. Sholmes, allow me to return your precious violin. Ah, the very thing. Thank you, Mr. Winterbeck. Perhaps this might mark the end of the peculiar items you try to pop. Because if anything were to happen to them, this would be the only answer. I really think you ought to stop waving that gun around. Someone can... Fear not! I've only loaded a single bullet, so no one but myself could possibly be... That's not really what I meant. Good day to you then, Mr. Winterbeck. It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Sholmes. What is this dude's deal? Are you okay, man? So, Mr. Naruhodo, now we can explore at last. We have no cases, so it's time to explore. Hold on, I'll be right back. 1 second. Alright, so we've been going for 50 minutes, and, nothing has really happened. I guess we'll find out. More time investigating here? Okay. I guess there is a lot of stuff to examine. Look at this! What can this lovely big shiny box be? That, my dear madam, is a music box. Surely you have such things in your own country. See, the thing is, though, Sherlock Holmes is entertaining enough that we can kind of just do nothing, and it's still fun. Oh my, yes, but I've certainly never seen one so large before. That's a music box? Shall we listen a while? Oh. For some reason I'm imagining like a jukebox that plays like 50s rock. Ah, what a sublime sound. Among us. I'm groovy. It's like the music of angels. I don't know, man. This particular specimen is of the larger variety, commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There is a metal disc inside on which the notes to be played are recorded. Simply by replacing the disc with another, any music you care to imagine can be played. It is like a recorder. It's a jukebox. Indeed, though their popularity has waned recently with the development of the gramophone, of course. Science and technology advance at such an overwhelming pace. There seems to be a little door hidden behind that curtain. That leads to the storage room, where Mr. Winterbank keeps articles that are currently in pawn. Ah, I see. There's nothing of particular interest inside. I certainly wouldn't recommend any loss in a second. Recommend it or not, it's not something I tend to do. FNAF 1 music box, goddammit. There is but one key. Wow, what a wonderful song, Mr. There is but one key, and Mr. Winterbank keeps it in his pocket at all times. Before he sleeps, he places it into a small pot, which he slides under his pillow. Why would he put an entire pot under his pillow? He could just slide the keys under his... How on earth do you know about that, Mr. Sholmes? I am a detective, sir. It is my business to know what others do. I am frequently assailed by information that I neither care for nor wish to retain. For instance, I've seen you looking at feet picks behind the counter. Oh, not my feet picks collection. Okay, this gun is going to be used to kill someone. Look at that enormous ledger open on the counter there. Mr. Winterbank is, if nothing else, very particular about recording the items he accepts. He'd have to be, otherwise he'd get himself into all sorts of trouble. Which might explain the thing that catches my eye far more than the ledger. This revolver. I get the feeling that's not just a tool for him to pretend to shoot himself. Like... It might also be a defense tool if some rowdy customers come in the store. Do not entertain even a single thought of pilfering an article herein, my dear. I assure you, Mr. Winterbank would not hesitate to draw that weapon with a speed belying his portly size. Oh, you don't mean he'd blow his brains out? Indeed, in recompense for his blunder. He'd blow his brains out, not yours. What a weird... He's a bit of a weirdo. Of course we would never do such a thing. How could you even suggest it? What an assortment of things there are here on these shelves. Crockery, footwear, clocks, and watches. Almost anything you care to imagine. These are forfeited items, offered for sale by the pawnbroker. What does that really mean? When you pawn, or colloquially, pop, an item, the broker loans you money against its worth. He stores the item for an agreed period of time, after which the loan must be repaid. If not, he only is free to display it in a shop for sale, at a price of his choosing. Oh yes, now you've explained it, I'm noticing little price tags. Of course, simply by paying the agreed interest on the loan, one can extend the period of safekeeping. So you may pawn that black garb of yours without fear, my dear fellow. My Trevor University uniform. Never! It embodies my student spirit. Okay then, if you say so. Now what do you suppose this rather enormous machine is? It seems to have two little windows for looking. Allow me to enlighten you, my dear fellows. What you are looking at is a stereoscope. A stereoscope? Fascinating. It is aptly named, I assure you. Look through the eyepieces and see for yourself. Oh, I should be delighted to. Excuse me a moment while I just have a look. Just before you do, there is something I should point out. My dear fellow, in order to see the image properly, stereoscopically, as it were, you will need to be cross-eyed. However, if that is beyond you, it is of little consequence today. Alright then, I'm going to try it. Ah! Mr. Naruhodo, you must see, at once! Right then. So I need to be cross-eyed, like I'm trying to look at my own nose. Woman. What the? I don't believe it. It's just a photographic print, but it seems like you could reach out and touch it. Yes, the sense of depth is startling, is it not? Stereoscopes are one of London's many fads. I feel like the bit of this scene doesn't work because we're not playing on a 3DS. Like, the whole thing is that's what this game originally came out on in Japan. So it's like, oh, the depth of the photo, but it like looks the same to me. I feel like if I was playing on the 3DS, it would look much more like noticeable. This depth, the stereoscopic 3D. They are often found in little stalls in the park. People queue for hours to see them. It allows you to look into the third dimension. A 3D effect, as I have coined it. It is no magic, my dear madam. It is, well, far too complicated to explain at present. Nintendo would use it 100 years from now in their 3DS console. It's not a calendar you could easily miss, is it? 15th April. Today's date. Yes, that's not for sale, I must point out. It is an Eastern-style page-a-day calendar. Every night at midnight, I tear off the front page to reveal the following day's date. The perfect calendar for a tearaway fellow such as yourself, Mr. Woodley. What does that mean? Well, when the agreed storage payment is passed without repayment, storage period is passed without repayment, articles are forfeited, you see. So I have to keep a close eye out for the date. Oh yes, I can see you're very dedicated to your job.
There's the analyzinator. Perry the platypus. Look at this. Whatever could it be used for?
Or is that not the machine that Sholmes had? Maybe this is something else. Small catch here, just here. Look.
The trap, the spring-loaded mech, it's like a little mouth. I'm making it for my robot botinator, my little doofbot.
A turn-of-the-century norm.
My turn-of-the-century robot norminator.
What is that, though, actually? Like, I know, haha, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, but, like, what is that? Whatever this device is, it seems as to have a pair of little windows to it. I feel as though I've seen something rather similar to this elsewhere. What? Only tuppence for it? That ain't fair, and you know it! Article is Bernie with a penny, miss. I cannot offer more. Oh, that was a miss. Oh, God, it's the little frickin'... Come on, that can't be right. Oh, you've ever had a proper butcher's at it? It's the stupid, like, thief girl from the... Yeah. Wait, don't we know? Oh, yes, the young lady from Mr. McGilded's trial 2 months ago. Not the McGilded voice again. Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, and a crust among large crowds who lead even people to their posts. It's commonly called a pickpocket. I feel like I'm giving him a thicker accent. The one who shot the, like, smoke bomb. Epic character. Ah, Gordon Bennett! You look... Hello, Miss Lestrade. Oh, God, she's frantically reloading her gun. What? You remember me then, do ya? I remember being completely surrounded by smoke, that's for sure. So, what are you doing in here? Down and out like the rest of us? Nothing to eat? Come to pop that black weasel? Sorry, coat. Have ya? What is it about this black uniform that makes everyone comment? Ah, good day. Unless I'm much mistaken. You would be the young pickpocket who stole our experimental smoke grenade launcher. Ah, Mr. Sholmes, why is everybody on bloody stone? Why is everybody on no here?
So, you have something of value to pawn, do you? Allow me to see the article, and I shall negotiate with Mr. Winterbank on your behalf.
Pull the other one. I don't need no help from some stuck-up D. Get out of my business. Go on, or I'll make trouble for ya.
As you wish, Mr. Strahd. I will happily remove myself from your presence.
Gino Lestrade is a Sherlock Holmes character. Is Gino Lestrade a character in the Hound of the Baskervilles story? I feel we're gonna be seeing more of him for sure.
I'm sorry, but as I said, there really is no room for negotiation here.
What is that? Some kind of metal disc? And you! Go on! Leave me alone! Oh, Miss Lestrade, just pretend we aren't here.
Sadistan can really stand her ground, she wants to.
Whatever.
Somehow, I really didn't think you were the sort of person who'd use a pawn.
Yeah, well, I am, alright? I'm a Londoner, just like everyone else. That's a problem, is it?
Hello?
Off.
No, not at all. It's just that, well...
Oh, I get it. I know what you're thinking.
Oh, we've got 3 viewers, boys.
That thing probably don't even belong to her. Probably got it on the dive, didn't she? Yeah, I can see it written all over your Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase? What?
Well,
I might have been thinking something along this line. I feel like they made her accent stronger since the last time she ran.
her voice is quickly becoming like her voice is very quickly becoming Nia from Xenoblade 2. It was already like I was already kind of doing that, but it's very quickly becoming like the same voice. You're not going to deny it, Mr. Naruhodo. Alright, I'm just going to come out and ask you straight. Do you pawn things that you steal from other people? Well, I don't know how best to answer that, really. Suppose, sometimes. You're not going to deny it either, Miss Lestrade. But not this time, alright? I swear! This one belongs to me.
The disc that Mr. Winterbank stole. Perhaps we should see what he has to say about this. Why is there always multiple people I have to talk to?
Mr. Winterbank, what exactly is this metal disc that Miss Lestrade brought in? It seems to have hundreds of tiny little bumps on its surface.
Oh, it's a music box, you see. For use inside a music disc, for use inside a music box. Jesus Christ, the reading comprehension. Not great.
Well, you don't even know what a music box is. Just not ain't too savvy, are you? Achoo! That was weird. I like the noise was natural, and I felt like I did the chew just because my brain said I had to. Like I was like, achoo! Achoo! I know what a music box is. Oh god, that like hurt my head. I've just never seen one of those because like nothing came out. That was just like a whomp, like it all like went in a snot in my brain. I'm gonna stop talking.
The small protrusions on the metal disc encode the tune to be played by the music box. You simply insert the disc and set the machine going, and the beautiful music plays.
Is this a real thing? Like 19th century like record players? It's so incredible. Tell us what tune is on this disc.
Well, I'm afraid I couldn't tell you that. There are so many different types of music books, you see. A British-made, German, Swiss. I have no way of knowing which particular machine this disc was made for.
Ah, I see.
That's it in a nutshell. I wouldn't have any customers for an item like this, even if the young lady forced me. Really, I'm already offering more than I should at a penny.
That's a packet of lies! He told me it did. He said it was, well...
mind. It just ain't right, that's all. That disc is worth good money. I know it is.
Well then, you'll have to try your luck at another pawnbroker, won't you?
Ugh.
She's been in before, of course, this little tatterdemalion. Tatterdemalion?
Glad I'm good at, like, sounding out words fast. This game throws some weird-ass words at us.
And brought some dubious article or other with her every single time.
Dubious? What are you trying to say? I'm an honest customer, me. So, is there something dubious about the disc she brought us?
Well, if only it was that simple.
Sorry, what do you mean?
What she actually brought in was a storage ticket.
Storage ticket. So, Miss Lestrada's actually come to redeem an article from you today, is that right? Yeah, that's right. A girl like me has a lot of stuff what needs storing. Alright, yes, that's definitely dubious.
The article in question would have been forfeited at midnight tonight. Thus, she gave me the ticket for it, and we paid both the loan and the interest. I was obliged to return the article.
But what was the article? Do tell us, Mr. Windermere.
The little scamp is wearing it, madam. It's the overcoat that she redeemed.
Oh yeah, she wasn't wearing this black coat last time. It looks a little big on her. Like, that's somebody else's coat. It looks like it's McGilda's coat, to be honest. What? What's wrong with that? It fits, don't it? I mean, it's mine, so of course it does. Okay, it's definitely not. So what about the disc then? How did that all come into this?
Ah, the disc is something else. A new article to pawn. The good and I can agree on a price.
I'm confused. I thought you said that Miss Lestrade brought in a storage ticket.
It's really quite simple. Yes, the child bought me a storage ticket and the money owed on it.
For this heavy black coat, which you returned to repair. Why are they explaining this? I don't need this explanation.
Rather unsurprisingly, as soon as the little ragamuffin put the thing on, she went rifling through the pockets.
Oh, you mean... What? Don't you know it's rude to stare at a lady? Ah, I see. So it came from the pocket of the overcoat, did it? I like that, like, pan down to show the pockets and then pan up.
If you mean this dish, then yes, exactly.
And she immediately tried to pawn it. For quite a high price as well. Rather suspicious. A black hole! Just give it up! I'm just trying to pawn something like anyone else would. Miss Lestrade, may I ask who deposited the overcoat here in the first place? Well, me? It doesn't really appear to be your size. Me old man! It's me old man's, ain't it? Is it, Miss Lestrade? Yeah, this thing is definitely all rather suspicious. So it's not the disc that's dubious, it's the coat, possibly.
Out of my way, please!
Who's talking? Oh, God. Jojo villain. Jojo villain. Jojo villain. I don't know why this guy has supreme Jojo villain energy. Who's this picture postcard English gentleman? Sorry, hold on, I'm checking something. Casey, what is this that you sent me on Discord?
Goofy.
Okay. Oh God, he's so...
Good day to you, ladies, gentlemen.
Also has significant, what's the, like, magician family from Apollo Justice? I think the Gramaries or something? What's your problem, eh?
There is no problem, as long as you remove yourself. I have a matter to discuss with the proprietor.
Oh.
Goofy! Goofy! And if you intend to make a problem of it, I shall see you outside, little girl, for the hiding you deserve.
What? He has to, like, beat her up? Look, ain't it obvious? I ain't done talking with him yet. If you think you're such a gent, you should know the way to line.
Dio. Frickin' JoJo part JoJo. This is like a JoJo like part 8 character design, except like just like throw in a few different extra colors, and this will be like a part. This is what Dio would look like. This is what part 1 Dio would look like if the JoJo characters in the early parts were like skinnier and not like so buff, as well as a pickpocket. Eh? Who are you? How do you know who I am? The question is, how do you not know who I am? You haven't the courtesy to even remember the faces of your victims. Yeah, he's got like a Zappelli hat going on there. Yeah, no, that's what it, not Dio, it's more like a Zappelli, actually. He looks like... What? You mean from you? Broke. Oh, yes, sir. I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you now. Yes, the article in... Oh, it's his coat. God damn it, it does look like it would fit him. The article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Oh my. Now that's a lie. What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat. And needless to say, I don't think it's not hers. I'm not sure it's his either. It looks so... What the hell is he doing? What is he's JoJo posing. God damn it. Give me... And needless to say... In a music box disc 2. Oh, I got it, buddy. JoJo. Give it back. No, you just can't have it. You just can't. It's my old man's. Or what it was. Now it's mine. Goodness, Mr. Naruhodo. This is a very awkward situation. I think perhaps we should hear both sides of the story in more detail. Miss Lestrade, is what the gentleman is saying... What do you think? It's all lies, ain't it? Obviously. I swear on my life I've never seen lies on this dandy before. Let's hear it now, you little ragamuffin. You stole it, didn't you? The ticket you brought in here. No, I swear to God. I didn't steal it. It was barely an hour ago. I was walking along the street, minding my own business. He's got that JoJo villain stare, though. Like those eyes, like this is some Kira. This is a Kira face. When this little gutterling ran into me, I knew at once what happened. I've been robbed yet again. Those wretched pickpockets. Wait, are you telling us she pickpocketed an entire coat from you? Oh no, the ticket. I'm stupid. I'm like, what? She like pulled the coat off his back? Like, yet again. Oh yes, as you can see, I am a man of impeccable style. I'm a JoJo's character, you might even say. This isn't the first time that I've been targeted by these backslum scoundrels. Now then, relinquish my overcoat, or I shall be forced to call my friend Jonathan Joestar. Come along now, Mr. Strong. Give the good gentleman his coat. If you're going to cause trouble, I'll have no choice but to call the police. Hold on! Why everyone think it's me? Just look at this dandy coat, and you think I'm the dodgy one? I'm sorry, but no one's going to believe you. Well, what about evidence? Yeah, where's your evidence that I've stolen something, eh? Come on, let's see it. Oh, I have evidence. Clearly. You what? Of course, we need only consult Mr. Windibank's ledger to know the truth. We'll be able to look up the name of the person who deposited the article in the first place. I feel like if that was a possibility, she would have done that. I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid that won't be possible. I never ask customers' names. It's a strict policy of mine. But why not? my customers have circumstances. A great many of them prefer to maintain their anonymity.
Yes, I see. But then, how can you know if an article belongs to the person asking to redeem it?
Oh, it's quite simple. Good sir, might I trouble you for the watchword associated with your article in question? Of course, it's Jojo Professor. If this scene was in JoJo's, he'd be saying that in English. Professor. Yes, that's right. And all the evidence we need then. This gentleman is the rightful owner of the article. Without doubt. A watchword? Interesting. So, about these watchwords, Mr. Windibank. As I just explained, I never asked customers' names when they deposit items with me. There are many reasons why certain customers would like to keep their activities secret. Healthy to it. It wasn't exactly a subtle glance at Mr. Sholmes, was it?
Great detectives have no dark secrets, none at all.
Yes, well, anyway, that's why I always ask for a watchword whenever I accept a new order. In many ways, it's like the secret combination of numbers used to unlock a vault. The date of deposit, a description, and a watchword uniquely identify each item. And of course, then I give the storage ticket to the consumer. When someone comes to redeem something, I ask for the ticket and the watchword. And if that someone tells you the correct watchword, you return the article? That's right, sir, yes. Just as soon as the requisite fee is paid. And I have supplied you with the information you require already. But for the avoidance of doubt, the article in question is an overcoat, deposited 2 months ago on 15th February. With a watchword of Professor. All perfectly correct information, sir.
But how?
Really, this is beyond a joke. There is no further room for doubt.
Ugh. See, wouldn't she have also have to give the watchword though? Like to get it back to begin with?
Picture postcard gentleman. Excuse me, but who are you? One would expect the inquirer to introduce himself first. Though clearly you are not British, so perhaps our ways are foreign. Oh, sorry. Yes, we're from the Empire of Japan. We're studying here. Oh, yes. Japan. I've heard talk of the place. Oh my god, what? Its inhabitants live on some fiery brown-colored soup, dressed with exotic spices. You might be thinking of somewhere else. What was that theatrical gesticulation? Jojo pose. Jojo pose. Perhaps. Anyway, if you are a gentleman, sir, you offer your own name first, before inquiring the name of another. Of course, yes. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a lawyer. Well, student lawyer, really.
My name is Susato Mikoto. I am Mr. Naruhodo's assistant.
I see. My name is Benedict. Yes.
EGGERT Benedict? Are you kidding me? Why?
His name is Eggs Benedict. Why? Enchante. He's so refined in how he holds himself and how he speaks, but that name is sus. Black hole sus. Now, to the matter at hand. My overcoat! Return it at once. Eggs Benedictu. Eggert. Eggert. Eggert Benedict. That's the JoJo localization name. for his character, Eggs Benedict. Eggs Benedict!
Grr, every move he makes, every breath he takes, I can't stand watching it.
What the hell? What the hell is this dialogue, dude? Oh my god. Pain.
Black hole sus among us, Eggs Benedict.
Well, it clearly does fit him, I will say. So, let that be an end to the matter. And thank you for your custom, Mr. Eggert Benedict, sir. With such reasonable rates of interest, I may even decide to come back. All he needs to do is, like, tip his hat down in front of his face, and he'll have achieved full JoJo status.
Tisk, this is why I hate grown-ups. Just 'cause I'm a diver, everyone thinks that makes me a liar. A driver! A driver!
And the contents of the coat pockets, if you please, bloke. Oh, but of course, sir. Here is the disc for you. Just this one. Pardon, sir? I was expecting another. That is, I deposited another. Sure is. Oh dear. I regret to inform you, sir, that what was deposited with me was merely the overcoat. The disc happened to be in one of the pockets, but I was completely unaware of it until now.
So, Gatterly, you're hiding more of what's mine, aren't you? Are you? Rightfully mine, are you? Says who, eh? I don't know nothing about it.
Very well.
Then I shall bid you farewell.
Say goodbye, JoJo. Say goodbye to style. Oh my god, what is this character?
Wait a minute. Wait, what? Wait a minute. That disc is mine.
Whoa!
What do you think you're doing? You bloody filthy animal. Oh my. Yes, there's blood on the disc.
It's because of all those sharp little bumps. The man must have scratched his finger on them.
I found it first, alright? I mean, it belonged to me, old man. Okay, this coat,
It does not belong to either of them. Like, she stole this ticket from somebody else, and then this guy came and redeemed it. Sussery. Absolute sussery is going on. I like that Herlock is not involved in this at all. He's, like, overplaying with some twists. He doesn't care.
I found it first, alright? I mean, it belonged to me, old man. So you're not having it. Oi, you take it. Me? If I ain't on to it, they'll have it off me again. So you keep hold of it.
Miss Lestrade, why is this disc so important? The music box disc has been entered into the courtroom.
You there, in the black. Hand that disc to me at once, please. No, don't. He's lying. Grown-ups are all liars.
Fuck, what do I do now? How am I going to resolve this? Oh, God. Run! Run! Susato's telling me to go back. We just need to take a breather. We've got fucking Eggert Benedict and Gino Lestrade both demanding a disc from us. Like, oh god, this is menace behavior. This is absolute menace behavior. Like, what? His name is Eggert Benedict? You gotta be kidding me. Okay, so what are we gonna, I guess they want us to go back in. I don't even know who to talk to first. Like, this is such a tumultuous situation. Can I just get, what's your take on this, dude? Mr. Windibank is clearly at a loss. So am I. Grab your gun. What is this? Oh. Look at Mr. Windibank, watching diligently over his stuff. There's still so many things I'm curious about. Not the right time. Okay, so who the hell do I talk to? Look at those piercing eyes. He's clearly in no mood to talk. We have to do something quickly. Do what? Do what? Can we just leave? Okay. Shoals! Help! We need your deductive skills! What are you examining with such keen interest there? Do you enjoy a bar of caramel? I see. He's not paying attention to this situation at all. He's watching a movie. So, you found me at last, Mr. Naruto. Sorry? After that young pickpocket sent me on my way, I was forced to lurk in the shadows, cruelly ostracized, as the rest of you partook in the jovial atmosphere of fellowship. I had nothing to occupy my mind. I was bored! So feigning mock interest, I pretended to examine the tedious trinkets in this desolate place. Whilst, as you shrewdly observed, gnawing on the only friend I have left, this 7% solution of caramel. It said Sholmes caramel on the wrapper. Does he sell, like, caramel? Pray, do you claim to understand the depths of my despair, Mr. Naruto? But how could you? I was so lonely, so desperately lonely, so bored! Why didn't you rejoin the conversation? Things have gone from bad to worse here, you know? Yes, I overheard much of your conversation. Or rather, in my craving for human contact, my ears devoured every word that was uttered. So frickin' overdramatic. Oh my god. Poor Mr. Sholmes. It would seem that my inference is correct. Oh, surely you're not about to tell us that you've solved the entire case once again. My dear madam, sometimes I wonder, were my genius for deduction to be commodified, how much could I pull? Okay, so he's figured out everything while over there. I mean, we have no better leads than listening to the deduction, I suppose. Well, Mr. Strahd, it would appear you find yourself in something of a predicament. Tisk! Where the blue blazes have you been, eh? Pardon? When a lady's in trouble, a true gent's supposed to be there to help. Straight away, not an hour later. Harsh. Jojo pose, and who, pray tell, are you? Mr. EGGERT Benedict. You have, in my eyes, a veritably encyclopedic array of curiosities about your person. Nevertheless, there are two immovable conclusions I have drawn. I beg your pardon. First is this. The true reason for your visit to this pawnbrokery today is something you have not yet revealed. And the second is this. A considerable crime is in contemplation. One you will orchestrate with intent to steal a vast sum of money. Well, Mr. Benedict, what say you to my deductions? How? He's turned as white as a hard-boiled egg. He's already, like, whitey. It would seem that once again, Mr. Sholmes has made a flawless deduction. Just who do you think you are, sir? Ah, yes, as I'd hoped. That is precisely the pained expression I was looking for. Deduction time. So, shall we begin? The time has come for yet another The time has come for yet another Sherlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. The great deduction. The game is on. Topic 1. Mystery Man's Aid. I'm gonna have to go refill my water soon. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured to this pawnbrokery today. You claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having had the redemption tickets stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. as revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to the shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer. The piece of paper in your hand is a staff wanted advertisement from this very shop. As even the most unobservant will soon realize that the man of your appearance has no need of such employ. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane with which you unwittingly clutched your person, exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. What contradiction? We've had this cane for years. The contradiction to which I speak is, of course. What is the contradiction? I was holding down the mouse button by mistake, so I mashed through his weird, like, analyze class. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the missing ferrule. The end of any walking cane would be terminated with a metal ferrule to protect the wooden tip, and yet detailed analysis shows the wooden tip of this stick to be utterly bare. Therefore, there is only one conclusion. The rod that you hold in your hand, which appears to be a walking cane, is in fact no cane at all. Huh. You recoil. Is something wrong? And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle, which you evidently would like to conceive, is the key to understanding this riddle. From the moment I saw it, my suspicions were aroused. What walking cane demands such a stout handle? But of course, as I said, this is no walking cane. No, not at all. What? It's the broken handle of a shovel! What? Are you insane? The Earth's most decorative shovel. And now, having determined this undeniable truth, the conclusion is clear. Your true motive for coming here was to take employment at this establishment in order to excavate the ground beneath the premises. What a calculated crime. A wickedly calculated crime. Conclusion. Something underneath the pawnbroker. I didn't read it. Topic 2. Great crime. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, intend to excavate the ground beneath this pawnbrokery with a broken shovel? What on earth do you propose I could expect to find down there? There. EGGERT Benedict. Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose. Save for such a fanciful theory, what possible reason could I have to do as you say? Oh, but there is ample reason. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could. What? Let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this, and covertly dig beneath its floor. The answer is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. I'm pretty sure his eyes are being drawn to the gun, not the... And according to the enclosed plan of the upcoming sewerage works, beneath this shop runs a sewer. When did he read that? I have time to read this. Beneath this shop runs a sewer that adjoins another, one that runs under the bank on the opposite side of the river. This madness has entered the sewers now, has it? By excavating the ground beneath our feet, you would gain access to the water that flows in very close proximity to the great vault of the financial institution opposite. I can slide through my work. In summary, sir, you devised a master plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by dint of the underground tunnels. Master plan? Oh my god, the JoJo poses are getting more and more elaborate. Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this madness.
With what plunder does the thief hope to make off from the underground vault of the bank? Are you quite serious? Having consulted with Scotland Yard some days ago, I happen to know the answer. But naturally, the answer is no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know. A postcard of the Great Exhibition.
I'm afraid you've quite lost me. Ah, I mashed through it again. Currently in the final stages of preparation, the Great Exhibition will soon be underway. The government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower. Funds that currently sit in the vault of the bank on the other side of this room. Pardon? Yes, the considerable crime you have been contemplating. I'm in trouble reading right now. Is the theft of that which sits in the vault of that bank the Special Reserves Fund for the Great Exhibition? Of course, that is top secret police information, so keep it under your hat, please. Robert Goose, Great Craft, concludes to steal the Great Exhibition's reserve funds. Reserve funds. My cold reads are bad. I'm not getting the part right. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this pawn-broking puzzle. Mr. Sholmes? Well, Mr. Naruhodo, an impressively upbeat deduction for a detective racked with loneliness, would you not agree? Make it about me again, please! Somebody finally talk to me. Now I'm going to do a funny dance and a funny deduction dance and make it all about me again. Was it true what you said about the bank over the road and what it has in its vaults? Indeed. Though few know of its existence. It is one of the government's most closely guarded secrets. Gregson told me in the strictest confidence. But you just announced it to everyone here, rather loudly. Ah! I did, didn't I? And if it's such a big secret, how would Mr. Benedict know? There can be but one explanation for that. Clearly, it is because the man is a criminal. But what if he didn't know anything about the money in the vault? If he is a criminal, as he said, then buying a brand new shovel is sure to be the first thing he does now that you've revealed the secret. Oh. Yes, or if he doesn't, maybe Mr. Windabank. He already has plenty of shovels here. On my life! I assure you I'm not so scrupulous. Well...
Hopefully, this has taught you a valuable lesson. Sensitive information must be handled with the utmost of care. One can never be sure that someone privy to secrets won't disclose them, and once the word is out, it's out. Perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you next time, Mr. Sholmes.
An excellent idea, Mr. Naruhodo. I cannot keep my mouth shut! Ha 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 ha! Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, you know what to do, I'm sure. Yes, let's listen to that great deduction again. See if we can massage it into shape. Very well then. Let us start once more from the beginning. Of Sherlock Holmes' magnificent logic and reasoning spectacular. But first I'm going to refill my water. Can I just do that? Topic 1. Tunnel underneath the pawnbroker. I was trying to tab out of the game to make it pause, but that did not work. Hold on, I'll be right back. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured with the pawnbroker.
I'm back, by the way.
Sorry. It was rather abrupt, I know. I got distracted.
Oh, I got disconnected from chat.
I got distracted. There was Tucker Carlson
on the television outside my room. Don't tell Mom. Secret puberty blockers for kids.
That was the headline. Very interesting. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured to this pawnbrokery today. You claim to have followed this pickpocketeer, having had the redemption of but that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different, as revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to the shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer.
So, here's the first part that is wrong. I think it's fair to say his motives lie elsewhere. The question is, where? Now we get to examine the JoJo bill. Let's see what's on the back of this paper. Has something on it. I love the deduction song.
Oh, look at all the scribbled notes on the back of the flyer here.
I don't believe it.
What is it?
Listen to what it says. Name, Gina Lestrade. Height, 5'2". Green cap, scruffy waistcoat, grubby white shirt, blue satchel, ragged. It's a detailed description of Miss Lestrade.
Goodness.
There's even a sketch of her, hat and all. Though if he showed it to her, she'd fire that smoke grenade launcher in his face for sure.
And look, the details of the shop have been written down here too. Windabank's Pawnbrokery, Baker Street. Redemption deadline, 15th of April,
Which is today's date. Why would Mr. Benedict have all that information scrawled on the back of that piece of paper? So he could pretend she robbed him?
That's a proper English gentleman's cane, isn't it? Look at the beautifully polished brass on the handle. Yes, but Mr. Sholmes is right. It's not the sort of handle you would usually see on the cane.
Perhaps it's the latest London fashion. I mean, it's just guessing, of course.
Perhaps you could adopt a cane, Mr. Naruhodo.
It might rather suit you. My little quiet form. I have a feeling it might argue with the sword around my waist. Okay. Pretty sure this is the crucial piece of evidence. Info about Miss Lestrade. Yeah. Yes, what brought you to the shop in the first place is the info about Miss Lestrade. Quite so, my dear friend. It appears that the writing... My throat hurts. Quite so, my dear. I just coughed up some phlegm. I like that word. Phlegm. P-H-L-E-G-M. The stupidest spelled word of all time. It's very fun. Quite so, my... I got up to get water and my focus got zapped. Quite so, my dear fellow. It would appear that the writing and sketch on the reverse of the flyer pertained to the pickpocket, Miss Lestrade, and to Mr. Windabank's pawnbroker. Ah! You originally told us that you had merely given chase after Miss Lestrade stole the ticket from you. But that, sir, is a thinly veiled lie. It is the information on the back of the flyer that led you here today. By which I mean, here, to Windabake's Pawnbrokery, and today, the redemption deadline of that oath. So you waited outside for the young girl matching the description you've written down to arrive. And you have gone to some lengths to hide the reason for your pursuit, Mr. Lestrade. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane, which you unwittingly clapped to your person, exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, missing fur rule. I don't know what a fur rule is, but that's not it. What's a fur rule?
It's the metal cap commonly found on the end of a cane, Mr. Naruhodo.
Ah, the bit that makes the nice clacking sound on the pavement?
Yes, exactly. And Mr. Sholmes is right. It appears to be missing on this cane.
But it doesn't actually look broken, does it?
No, it doesn't. Though the gentleman certainly did recoil when Mr. Sholmes identified the cane as suspicious.
In other words, there's some secret about the cane that Mr. Benedict would rather we don't know. Something about the cane we don't know. Initialing on the cane we don't know. AG. Look here, Miss Susan. There's some letters in the handle.
Ah, yes, those must be initials, I think. In the West, it's customary for people to engrave their belongings with the first letters of their names.
So Herlock Sholmes would be HS, you mean?
That's right. And the initials on this cane, obviously... Oh. AG. Why does it feel as though that's not quite right? Because that's not frickin' Eggs Benedict, dude.
Take that!
The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the initial. A most astute observation, wouldn't you say, Mr. EGGERT Benedict? We are led to believe, sir, that your initials are EB. Yet, in a most possessive manner, you have in your grasp a cane bearing the initials AG. An incontrovertible contradiction indeed, would you not agree? No, you're wrong. This cane isn't... You said before that you'd had that cane for years. So don't you try to tell us that you just borrowed it from a friend who found it in the park. In short, though you hold yourself to be a gentleman, you have withheld your true name.
His real name wasn't fucking Eggs Benedict. Like, what a surprise.
You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, the truth behind this rod you bear. Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle, which you evidently would like to conceal. Yeah, okay, let's go over what's happened here. Miss Lestrade redeemed that fine-looking overcoat. Now a mysterious man has appeared, introducing himself with a fake name, and claiming that the overcoat belongs to him. But we know that he actually identified Miss Lestrade from a written description, which suggests that everything else he's told us is untrue. So what we need to do here is somehow prove that the overcoat cannot possibly belong. Okay. He's concealing something. What? What is he concealing? Can this text get out of the way? I kind of want to, like, see his lower half. Okay, there we go. Just move the cursor down. Okay, well, his hand is... what is this tear here? Oh, the seam on the shoulder is coming apart. Look! So it is. Do you know, a moment ago when Mr. Benedict was surprised by something that was said, I thought I heard him make a rather strange noise. It sounded a bit like a tiny growl. But now I think it was probably the sound of this seam ripping open. If you look closely, it does seem to be a very tight fit. The sleeves are stretched to bursting, and he wouldn't have a hope of fastening it in the front. So how can we make Mr. Benedict run around? She's really giving this some thought. The hand, stylish hat. We can look at the hat. I've been looking closely at this hat for some time now, and it suddenly occurred to me that a bright white top hat like that might be just the hat for me. You like it, do you? I think I do. Don't I? Well, in that case, you could see if there isn't something similar among Mr. Windibank's forfeited items. After we've concluded our investigation. The handle. The tear on the seam, which you would evidently like to conceal.
Take that!
The split seam, which you would evidently like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. Ah! Yes, because the overcoat is rather obviously a poor fit. I mean, from the front he fooled me, but yeah, it's not his coat, but it's also not Gina Lestrade's coat. Maybe it actually is her old man's coat. I don't know. Having forced it over your broad shoulders, the seam is already breaking apart. Because, like, somehow whoever told Eggs Benedict to come here knew that Gina would be here to redeem her ticket. So maybe it actually is her old man's, like, stuff. My suspicions were aroused from the outset. When you so boldly lied about your name and so boldly waylaid this pickpocket. This catalogue of untruths has all been for one very specific purpose. To steal the article that the young girl redeemed from Mr. Windibank. I figured it out now.
really shouldn't have revealed that information about the bank money. But what really irks me is this. The considerable crime I initially imagined has been considerably curtailed. Conclusion. To abscond with a redeemed item. Solved. Topic 2. Great crime. I'm going to have to completely redo this. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, designed a wheeze to filch some tawdry article of college. Have you forgotten that I redeemed the article in the proper manner using the watchword? Had I not been the one to deposit it in the first place, how could I possibly have known the relevant details? Nécessaire pas. I don't know French. Oh, but the watchword can be discovered. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. What? Let us consider how one might come to learn a secret watchword relating to the pawned property of another. The method is revealed by the council notice on the counterfeit. Not. He still hasn't quite. No more talk of tunneling into the sewers, which is a pity because it all sounded rather exciting. Anyway, you can't deny that this mysterious gentleman did know the watchword. Yes. Professor, if you didn't know that word, Mr. Winterbank would never allow you to redeem the article. Or looking at it another way, if you did know that word, Mr. Winterbank would allow you to redeem the article whether it was yours or not. So the question is, who this gentleman? Is the watchword in this book over here? The big book? Can I investigate the big book? Or maybe it's on this side. Look at this, Mr. Sir. Ah, it appears to be a memo that Mr. Winterbank has scribbled to himself. Let's see. What does it say? Oh, Professor. Mr. Winterbank must make a note of the watchword his customers give him, right before their eyes. An alarmingly clear script as well. Oh dear. I don't know where to look. Who knows what other secrets I might see? So that is the evidence we are presenting.
Take that!
The method is revealed by the notelet on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. Yes, Broker here follows the same procedure whenever a customer comes to redeem an article. He asks the customer for the watchword and notes down the response after the notelet he has to hand. Then he consults his ledger and confirms whether or not the watchword matches that of the article in question. I would expect nothing less than diligent Broker. But his diligence clearly has its disadvantage. It is increasingly apparent that you were present in the shop before your accusation against Mr. Strong. In all likelihood, you followed her inside and observed her talking to Mr. Winterbank. When the diligent broker made a note of the watchword, as is his common practice, you observed him writing the word professor on the note beside the ledger. How was he there observing that without any of us noticing it? Like we came in the store first. And that, sir, was the master plan you devised to steal the pawned article from the young Mr. Strahd. Master plan! Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. Why would you go to such lengths to redeem that particular article from this particular pawnbroker? Be quite serious. For an ill-fitting overcoat hardly seems to justify the effort, much less a woman's music. Naturally, you had very good reason to make them yours, didn't you, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know. The articles we're talking about are the overcoat and the music book that was in one of the pockets, which, according to Mr. Winterbank, isn't even worth a penny. And yet this man went to such lengths to steal them. Why? I wonder if perhaps we
We already have the evidence we need to explain it, Mr. Naruto. Oh, we're presenting evidence here. Interesting. Is it the disc? Hold on, let's examine the disc. Oh, there's a note on the back.
McGilded! Oh no. Oh, there's a little scrap of paper stuck onto the reverse side of the disc. Look. And a scribbled word or two. It looks like somebody's name. For McGilded. But did we just get McGilded? McGilded Pog. McGilded Pog. It is, Mr. Naruhodo. A name I shall never forget for as long as I live. But why? Why is his name on this?
McGilded mystery returns. Present this piece of evidence.
Take that!
You see, this music box
Box disc tells us
all we need to know. See, what's that on the back?
it reads for McGilded. Ah! Ah, Mr. Magnus McGilded, the unfortunate philanthropist who
Perished in curious circumstances at the Old Bailey 2 months ago. A prominent man in London. It's his coat. It's McGilded's coat. Through his loan-mongering demonstrated a distinct lack of scruples. So, you're an associate of his, are you? Or perhaps a subordinate? Mr. McGilded was a man of unusually small stature. In fact, he was precisely the right size for that overcoat you squeezed yourself in. Your true identity remains shrouded in mystery, Mr. EGGERT Benedict.
What a silly fake name. But the final conclusion here is crystal clear. The reason you came to this pawnbrokery today.
I love this, Dan. Was to retrieve an article left behind by the late Magnus McGilded. Ah! Conclusion. To acquire an item deposited by Mr. McGilded. Solved. Deduction complete. Elementary.
Well, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Not a name I expected here today.
Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid there's something very troubling on my mind.
Pray tell, Miss Susato.
Well, according to what Mr. Windibank told us earlier, today was the final day on which the coat could have been redeemed, was it not?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. Today would be precisely 2 months since it was first deposited. Well, today is 15th of April, so 2 months ago today would have been 15th February, sir. That's right. It's all carefully recorded in my ledger. Deposited at 10:30 p.m., I see. What? But that suggests... Yes, 15th February is precisely the day on which the omnibus murder took place. And 10:30 in the evening is precisely the time at which the terrible events were unfolding.
So this is actual proof that he didn't do it, but for some reason, he did not want the court to know about this. Interesting.
Suggestive is not the word. It would seem the matter is entirely beyond coincidence.
You are, of course, at liberty to make whatever outlandish
Deductions you choose. However... Oh! He took the gun from the desk! I must insist you hand over the music box disc. Now. While you were busy dancing around, I pilfered the gun from
Mr. Windibank's desk. It would be a terrible shame for you to return to your native land in a box. What do I do? Here, take the disc. Just tackle him afterward. I hate to give in, but
Hold it!
Hold it!
Oh, wait, no, he didn't take the gun. It's a... Psych! I had another one under the desk! This is my shop. I can't allow any harm to come to my customers. If that were to happen, I should have to take my own life. Mr. Winterbank, no, don't point the gun at yourself. Point the gun at him. Alright, that's enough. Alright, that's enough. Inspector Gregson. Oh, shit. That's right, Sunshine. The alarm was raised on one of our dedicated emergency lines. So we got here as fast as we could. And what's all this about, eh? Oh, praise be, you're here at last! I was moments away from forfeiting my own life and my very own establishment. I don't know why I would have done that when I could have just shot the guy who was aiming the gun at them. It would seem you have the upper hand. So we saved Gino a straw, and in the process caught this guy up to some sussy shit. Right, you lot have got some explaining to do. I don't appreciate being bothered with some petty argy-bargy.
Petty? Mr. Winterbank very nearly met him with his end.
Yeah, by his own gun, as far as I can tell. Oh dear. The whole grit can meet with its end if I don't get to the bottom of the case I'm supposed to be working on. What? What on earth is the case, Inspector? Spare no detail, Gregson. We're about to divert into another plot thread. I can sense it. I might have said a little too much. No matter. Nothing to do with you, Lord. Anyway, sir, you're gonna have to come with me down to the station. But of course, Inspector. What? What did he just do? He's getting away! He knocked my chips out of my hand! What the fuck? Sir! Damn it. He got away while I was applying the 5-second rule. There's been a spat of thefts at pawn shops around here recently, so we fitted emergency buttons underneath the counters for brokers to let us know when there's trouble. Oh, Inspector. I was very worried there for a while. Very worried indeed. Now then, Mr. Permanently in mourning. Oh, yes? I'll be taking that, whatever it is, of McGilden's down to the yard. Thank you very much. So hand it over. Oh, yes, of course. Hey, no, don't give it to him. That's mine, it is mine. Sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken in as evidence now. As evidence. If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. Poor Gina, she just wants her music, dude. And so, we handed Mr. McGilded's disc over to Inspector Gregson, and we summarily turfed out of the shop and onto the street. To be continued. Do you think we should stop there? We've been going for like 2 hours, so I could certainly go more. But it is also like 10 p.m., so I don't... Like, I could do investigation... Like, we're in investigation part 2 already, so like... Oh no, this would be a good place to stop. Jack said he was gonna watch the stream, but he's not here. And I don't want him to show up 10 minutes after I've cut stream. But I also kind of, like, don't know how much more I want to play right now. What do you think, chat? What do you think, one viewer? Are you down to watch more? I mean, the next save might be a while. I mean, I can save at any time, so that's not really an issue. But this is like the cutscene save. This is like the chapter in between thing. I must say though, I am intrigued by this EGGERT Benedict. We haven't even really been officially hired on a case yet. We kind of just stumbled into this scenario, and then that's our investigation. Damn McGilded. I knew the McGilded shit was gonna come back up. So that's like this coat seems to be proof that, like, assuming the Gilded was the one here who donated it, that could be proof that, like, he didn't commit the murder from case 3. But if he didn't commit the murder from case 3, then like if there was evidence so easily clearing him of that murder, why did he go out of his way to, like, fabricate shit? Like, he could have had an alibi, but he really didn't want people to know he was at the pawn shop, which is interesting. Let's see what else is going on here. Let's see what we're actually, like, going to be doing for the second half of this investigation.
See? That's why I ate grown-ups. All they do is feed you a pack of lies and take stuff away from me.
Oh, really, Mr. Straw? Tell me, is that overcoat keeping you warm? Well, she got the overcoat in the end, even though it was not hers. What?
Oh my, surely you were given that. Yeah, the D let me keep it, after I looked daggers at him for long enough. He went through the pockets and then said, go on then, have it, before telling me to scalp her. Always pays off giving people a look like you ate them.
I can't help feeling that it's going to get you into serious trouble.
What I really wanted was that nice shiny disc, mind?
The music box, yes. But Mr. Windibank said it was practically worthless.
I think I'm gonna go and have another bash. Give him a long, hard stare.
I think not, Mr. Straw.
We shan't enter Windibank's yet today. Why not? That's not fair.
Can't be helped, I'm afraid. The police are investigating the scene now, taking a statement from Mr. Windibank.
But that disc is mine. I have the ticket for this court, and it was in this court's pocket. And there should be something else involved. That fucking code said it.
Yes, he did mention something about another article, didn't he?
Well then, that's mine too, whatever it is.
Now she's really pushing her luck. Mr. Straw, I think it's time to admit defeat. You've had your haul for the day.
Yeah, and it's all your fault, Sholmes.
If I hadn't done the deduction, you would have... That guy would have took the coat and the disc from you. I don't know what you're bitching about. What are your plans now? Will you dine with us this evening? He invites everybody over to the house. I love it. Iris would be delighted to cook, I'm sure. And I might entertain you with a modest violin recital.
No.
Oh.
Why would I come round your place, eh? Are you lost your head or something?
Okay. Why? Whatever. Having reviled me quite unnecessarily, she is now gone. I can't help wondering. Perhaps she might turn up anyway. Interesting. Once she's had a chance to calm down, I think there's a good chance she'll decide to come. See, we don't really have a case. We're kind of just like going back to Sholmes' house. Very well then. We'll inform Iris to set a place for our potential guests at the dinner table. Why is everyone in my Steam playing Skyrim? And one more thing. I should be glad of your company later soon. Sorry? I believe I will have a rather splendid surprise to show you.
Oh, how exciting. What is it?
We shall have to wait and see, Mr. Sutter. Until later, then. Okay, this actually feels like this is like setup for the next, for the next little set of events. Like dinner with Sholmes and like a Sholmes sussy surprise. I think I'm actually. I know I'm like, I didn't stop at the to be continued, but I wanted to see exactly what we were getting into, like, in the next potential stream. And I feel like we just got a solid, like, idea. I'll definitely be back with this soon. Possibly tomorrow, if I'm not like out doing anything tomorrow evening. I might just be back with more of this case tomorrow. Because it's sure to be an interesting one. Lots of Herlock Sholmes content. Alrighty. Thanks for coming to the stream. I already saved. I don't like that. Yeah, just quit the game. Yes. Okay, that just closed it. I thought it was gonna go back to the title screen, but alright. That's all for the stream tonight. Arrivederci!